99 FM, your inspiration station. It is time for MYD Heart, brought to you by NHP. And it's a really, really special interview because I'm talking to someone who basically raised me in my teenage years. And she's here to share, her story of what it means to be a mom to, kids who aren't your own, but still, being there for them and helping them become the people that they're meant to be. I'm talking about Aunty Jacqui, who's joining me in the studio right now. Hi, Tani.
Hi, Treza.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's going to be hard for me also not to talk Afrikaans because I'm so used to speaking Afrikaans with you, but we're here and it's all about you. Tani, please tell us about yourself, who you are and what you do, but most importantly, what brings you joy.
Thank you, Treza, for this opportunity. As she already said, my name is Jacqui. My surname is Jacqui Moller.
Mm-hmm.
Who I am, I'm a mother to so many children.
Yeah.
I basically have had 9 children, of which 2 actually died. My son had cancer and my little baby girl died in an accident. And I have now 7 other children, which one is permanently staying with us, who is also from the children's home where I recently worked for 13 years. So that is me,
basically,
Jacqui,
in a nutshell. Yeah.
In a nutshell.
What brings you joy? What makes you happy? What brings you joy?
I think what brings me joy is when I'm around people and when I can do something for others. That completes me. That brings me joy. Doesn't necessarily have to be about money, but when I can help somebody out, when I can be there for somebody, when I can listen to others, that brings me joy.
Beautiful. Now, we know you as Aunty Jacqui from the children. So most of us, who know Tani, we know you as Aunty Jacqui. Tell us, how you became a house mother at the Namibian Children's Home and why you decided to take up that position.
It's actually I started at the children's home in 2004, and there was a friend of mine that actually told me about this opportunity. There was a vacant post, and I honestly never thought that I would get into the children's home, a subdivision of the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, which is an orphanage in Eros. So I decided to also apply, and it was in December that I actually got a call, but I never had my phone with me. So in the beginning of January, people were actually waited that when I actually got hold of my phone, I called them back and I saw this SMS that I received, and they said yes, there's still time for me to come in for an interview. So I went, and I was really lucky to be able to become part of the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, and that was a position of a child care officer at the Namibia Children's Home.
The experience, I stayed there. I lived in your house a lot of time. I know I was a difficult child.
Very much.
And but the nice thing was that you were always there for me and for us, advising us on how to be better people. What was your experience, in your own words, your experience with working with kids, orphan children, vulnerable children in the Namibian Children's Home?
Wow, it was quite a journey. I would recall this as a phase in my life, a school of experiences that I went through. And that is something that I will, in fact, really, really hold very close to my heart for many, many years. Even though I'm not part of the ministry anymore, I took some hearts with me, and I think you can really.
I can.
You can. It's not an understatement. You can really declare that you are still part of our family, and that is what I took with me. It was a journey of heartaches, a journey of pain, a journey of laughter, a journey of so many experiences that I can honestly today share with Namibians what I went through in my journey. Throughout my journey at the children's home, I met a lot of awesome, wonderful kids that became women and grown-ups, and some of them are married today. And what's lovely about this experience is that still up till today, my house is an open house for all those kids.
I can always come there and be like, Tani, I need Sunday food or something. Like something needs to happen. You're always willing to open up your door and open up your heart to welcome us back into your family. How important is this kind of support for children who are orphaned or who become homeless? Sometimes when you lose a mother, not saying that someone else can take her place, but having a mother figure who still takes up and still does the things your mom usually would have done, that's the role that you played for us in, in the children's home, teaching us how to cook, making sure that things are done the right way in the house. But how important is this kind of support for children who are orphaned and who are homeless, Tani?
I think this type of support is of the utmost importance. Support of just being there, not that child needs to know who or he or she is, the identity crisis. The child needs to know that he belongs somewhere.
Yeah.
That is really, really very important, that you are there to create a support system for these children.
Yeah.
No matter where they come from, their origin, their religion, their creed, ethnicity, nothing should be exempted from the support that you are giving out to the children out there. That is really, really very important, because your support system is your lifeline at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for me, my experience throughout my journey at the children's home was a journey of waking up in the morning knowing that I have a purpose, waking up knowing that I need to make sure that if these kids go to school, they are fed and they are clean and they are presentable, because they actually is the mirror. People are looking at these kids and then they see you as the mother.
Yeah.
They don't have to necessarily know you by name, but just knowing that, looking at these kids, you know that these kids are coming from somebody looked after these kids, and that is quite important.
Yeah.
As part of a support system.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Tani, finally, how is your relationship like with all the children you raise over the... Okay, I'm an example. I'm sitting right here, and my relationship with Aunty Jacqui is actually pretty awesome, right, Tani? I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know how you feel about it. But I would like to think that, doesn't matter how many months go by that I don't see you. If I come, to visit, you're always so happy to see me, and I'm always so happy to see you, because, like I said, you were like a mother. You are still like a mother to me, and it's important to note also that if it wasn't for people like you, the Aunty Jacquis, the Tani Haywards of the home, that I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I wouldn't be the woman I am today if you didn't teach me and raise me as your own. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And also just in regards with other relationships with the other kids, that you also raise, how is that relationship with the other kids, the Ishmaels and all of them? Still, I can mention names all day. Yeah.
There's many names to mention.
Yeah.
Melissa, I think I'm very privileged to be sitting here and to be talking about my relationship with all the kids that went through my house, that went through my hands, because I practically raised a lot of babies as well in my journey at the children's home. I'm honestly very privileged, because the relationships has never ended. It's almost like a bond that started when I started at the children's home. It was 2004, and we are in 2021 now.
Yeah.
Many years went by, many rivers were there. A lot of experiences, a lot of joy that I can really, really account for. So which means is that I'm so privileged that I can honestly say today that all of my kids that I raised in house number 2, we never mentioned that.
House number two,
all those kids still comes back to our house. They still know Uncle John, they know Tani, and we were actually called Oom and Tani Jacqui. Oom John and Tani Jacqui. So all those kids, it's the Christines, it's the Hedwigs, it's the Ponelles, the Ishmaels. I don't want to leave out any name, Treza, and you know that we all went through a journey of knowing to bond with each other. And that is the part of the journey that I would really, really treasure as long as I know that I will grow old and know that these kids will always have my back, and I will always have their back.
Definitely.
And the love is there.
Yeah.
We do have the normal fights with Treza as well. Treza know that, because I went with Treza. I do want to mention this, Treza.
Okay, please
and
do.
I hope you will allow me to mention this. I went with Treza and another boy that is now staying with me, Tangeni, to South Africa on a competition that they actually took part in.
Yeah.
And Treza and Tangeni win overall awards for the categories that they took part in. And it was a journey for the three of us.
Yeah.
Going to South Africa, we came back. We were supposed, because we got a chance to go to the LA, but we never got the funding
to go.
So those are the small little things that makes a person grow, and that is the relationship that I want to treasure with all my kids.
Yeah.
Christine is married, one of the kids that is married, and I can tell everybody today that I think I have more than 30 kids. Some of the kids never grew up in my house, but they became part of our house up till today, and that I'm very, very privileged for.
No, I'm also very grateful for everything that you've done, Tani, and you still do. I mean, it didn't stop when you left the children's home. You're still doing that for a lot of kids today. If we need help, if we need advice, we can come to you. I mean, apart from you telling me that I'm apparently a drama queen. She always calls me a drama queen. I don't know why. Because I'm not a drama queen. I'm not, Tani. But still, it all comes from a place of love. You only just want to see the kids that grew up in your house grow up to be the men and women that they were meant to be. So thank you so much for still continuing to raise and be there for the kids who grew up in your house, in the children's home, house number 2 to be specific. So thanks, Tani, for making time to come talk to us. And it was baie lekker geweest van Tani so dit. And I'll come visit really, really soon.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Treza. It was a pleasure.
It's Aunty Jacqui in the studio talking about, her time in the children's home, and also why it's so important, for kids, especially orphan children and homeless kids, to have a support system, a mother figure that can guide them through life. So thank you so much for Aunty Jacqui for joining us here on MYD Heart, brought to you by NHP. Boys to Men with a song.